well as some gateway units if he's going to want to be able to deal with this big of a push here from DDE. DDE now moving around, going to check this third expansion, try to see if there has any third expansion going down, and yeah, that is exactly what DDE is doing here, coming around. Very, very smart play from DDE, because if anything, you want to take out a third and then move into a natural. A natural is almost always going to be a little bit better defended, so you always want to, rather than go into the natural where you could potentially lose all your attack forces and then your opponent still has a third, if you attack the third first, you could potentially take out a third and then go into the natural and potentially lose your whole force. But now you've taken out a third mining base for your opponent. So smart play there from DDE. We do now have a gold expansion here going down for WhiteRa, and looks like he's now moving all of his forces in here now. And this is exactly what I was talking about before, ladies and gentlemen. DDE not sticking to that primary attack path, so it allowed WhiteRa's forces to get behind DDE's forces, and so now DDE's forces are actually kind of stuck out there in the middle of nowhere. He's kind of stuck away from his map, and he's not in a very good position to defend his own base just because he moved away from that primary attack path. And now we can see that WhiteRa is now forcing all of DDE's forces into this base up here where he is going to be stuck up here. He does not have enough medevacs to lift up all of these forces here. So WhiteRa is now essentially containing the army of DDE's here. So smart play here by WhiteRa, but it looks like DDE is going to be pushing out, and WhiteRa looks like he's actually just going to be pulling back. I'm actually kind of surprised that he's doing that. He still has a lot of sentries here, so he'd be able to split up a lot of these forces, especially if he fights on that ramp. He could force field that ramp and split that army in half and only fight half that army at the time, but it looks like he's decided to let that go, as there is now a drop now in his main from DDE. DDE taking advantage of the fact that WhiteRa's whole army was out of position, and now stimming up all his forces to come in and take out this gold expansion. This gold expansion just finished one nice Psystorm. There goes down, takes out a huge amounts of damage. That was a beautiful Psystorm there, actually, from WhiteRa. Able to also clean up that drop in his main expansion. Not too much damage was dealt there for WhiteRa, but the gold expansion did go down, and now we do have some High Templar coming here. DDE needs to be very, very careful, because one Psystorm could definitely take out all of those forces there if he is not careful. Looks like DDE is now wisely pulling back all of his forces, going to continue to macro up. He is now on his third base. WhiteRa has not been mining for quite a while now on this third base. His main is just nearly mined out. Needs to get that transfer going as soon as possible and really get that mining going, because he was not mining on that third base for so long, and DDE was mining on that third base, was able to get up quite a food lead here, as he is about now 10 food ahead. And now, interestingly enough, we do see a little bit of a change from the past 4 games here from DDE, as well as now Ghosts are now out on the field. We're not seeing any Vikings here. Looks like he knows that this Archon play is coming, and DDE's reaction to that is Ghosts, which of course can get up ahead, EMP those High Templar, and take out a lot of energy and shields on those units. So very, very smart thinking here. Very smart, just well-reasoned play here from DDE. DDE now putting up a forward Marine, loving this placement of this Marine, going to be able to scout any early attacks here from WhiteRa. If WhiteRa decides to move up that force, he's not placing his entire army up there, so he can't be caught with his entire army out of position, but he's going to know that that attack is coming just a moment earlier than he would normally. Now from WhiteRa, we do have a couple of Zealots moving around the map. Looks like WhiteRa is going to be placing some pylons around the map. Always a good choice to do. You always want to do that to try to be able to give you a little bit more mobility for your warp-ins, but you also want to do that to just give you more vision on the map. More vision on the map is always a good thing. And what is this? We have a command center here from DDE. DDE looks like he's going to be trying to take that expansion, going to try to take that gold expansion. That'll get him way ahead. We do have some Zealots that move there into that natural, but it looks like that did get cleaned up with not too many workers lost there for DDE, or WhiteRa rather, continuing this aggression, sending in more Zealots, not able to take out quite as many workers as he would have hoped. A lot of workers there in the deep red there. If we check it out, we actually have quite a few units in the deep red there. WhiteRa just now mining on that 4th base, but DDE, wow, not able to mine from this gold yet, thanks to this one Zealot, this hero Zealot from WhiteRa, which is preventing mining here for actually a good amount of time here on this expansion. DDE could have been mining on this base a little while ago, but now the forces of DDE now moving in, able to take out that Zealot, which was just on hold position, and that expansion is going to land here. Going to most likely see a planetary fortress here coming down on that command center very, very soon. All the bio forces of DDE are currently at that 1-1 upgrades. Currently lots of barracks, Holy cow, that's actually a ton of barracks. 9 barracks currently in the base of DDE. 1 starport looks like, with just now a couple of Vikings being produced. We don't have any, or we do have 1 Colossi there out for WhiteRa now. So WhiteRa now going for kind of a mix. I'm kind of worried about that. Anytime you go for this varied of a composition, it means that your individual units will be less effective just because you spread out your tech so much. We do have some High Templar up here in this War Prison. That is such good play there by WhiteRa. That means that those High Templar are not going to be able to get EMP. He's going to be able to drop them and drop those EMPs right away, but nice spread of the units here by DDE. Check out that concave. Has absolutely amazing concave here against WhiteRa. WhiteRa now bringing in those Archons as quick as he can to try to defend this, but man, that was just such good play there from DDE, able to get into this corner and then just spread out all of his units, reducing the amount of damage that WhiteRa can do with those High Templar, and WhiteRa now looking like he's in a very scary position. A lot of probes being taken out here for WhiteRa. WhiteRa sitting at 100 food to the 136 food of DDE. DDE is now going to be moving into the 3rd base of WhiteRa. If WhiteRa loses this base, it is going to be GG for him. There is not going to be any way that he can keep up, but it looks like he's going to be sacrificing this base as he has nothing to be able to really stop it, and EMPs go down on WhiteRa's remaining units, now forced to take those High Templar and morph them into an Archon right away, and WhiteRa not looking like he is in the best of positions. Man, this must be devastating for WhiteRa, as in Game 1 and Game 2 he won so decisively, but in Games 3 and 4 just not able to take it, and in Game 5 here, such smart play here from DDE, such good tech switches, such smart tech switches, able to put him in such a good position, and now WhiteRa is down to just 1 small mining base, and things are not looking good for WhiteRa. WhiteRa is now just going to be forced to just push and try to deal as much damage as he can and hope that he can take out the forces of DDE, but DDE now getting that +3 infantry weapon upgrades as well as that +2 armor upgrades. Those are going to be some beefy bio forces here from DDE. Forces of WhiteRa now moving across the map, trying to deal as much damage as they can. EMPs going off on all the units, and WhiteRa's units instantly all out of shields, and all the forces of DDE looks like they are in a commanding place to take this game flank from the back, and GG, well played from WhiteRa. Holy cow, ladies and gentlemen, this was an absolutely amazing series from both of these players. I hope you enjoyed the series. If you did, please do the commenting, please do the subscribing. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching. I heart all of you guys. There's a heart for you guys, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Glitch out.